Hey guys, so I'm going to be making some of these little smoked sausage weenies in the crock pot. I'm looking for barbecue sauce, but I don't think I have it. I found this Asian Zing sauce. It's chili pepper, soy sauce, or soy and ginger. It's kind of a little hot, so I don't know. I might try to put some of that in there in the crock pot with these. And then I'm going to make some green beans with some ham hock. I think that's what they're called. So I'll bring you guys along. So I'm here bringing you guys along. I'm going to be putting this in the crock pot here, and I've got so much stuff to do. I need to go to the store. I need to fold clothes. I need to do so many things, but first we're gonna do this. It's a beautiful day outside today. Happy Mother's Day, everybody that's a mother, and hope everybody's having a good day. Y'all see my flowers right here that my daughter got me? Katie got me those for Mother's Day. They're beautiful. She got me that and a pillow and some chocolate. And I got some more stuff too. I got socks, a shirt, candles. My daughter done it last night. She graduated high school. I'm super proud of her. She's on her way to the beach right now. I just got off of FaceTime with her, and she is about 3 hours from her destination, so that's super exciting. Mama's nervous about it, but you know what? You gotta let them fly, and it gets rough, y'all, sometimes. So I got that chopped up there. Also have these weenies here, which I showed you at the start of the video, and I just got these at Yugo. I have got to, like, this week use up stuff in my freezer and my refrigerator because I'm needing to get me a freezer, but I've not done that yet, like one of those small freezers, because this little old refrigerator and freezer, it's just like a top part and a bottom part. It has no room for nothing, so I want to use my stuff up and get everything organized and all that good stuff. So these are the Brian Cocktail Smokies, and I'm wanting to get one of those small upright, or not upright, but one of those small freezers. So that's probably my next step, what I'm going to be doing. Okay, guys, so hang on a minute. I did have this. I was right. I got it from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to add this and just a dab of this, y'all, because Mama can't do hot. So we're going to open this up and put it in there. It has gotten so warm out here today, y'all. Like, so warm. Okay, so I'm not going to do, I'll probably do half of it. That'll be good. And then I'm also going to add this sauce, too, from Dollar Tree is really good if y'all haven't tried it. It's really nice. This one's the honey. I'm going to add a little bit of this, not a lot, because like I said, this stuff's hot, man. Maybe just a couple of squirts, because just to give it a little flavor. A hint, per se. I'm going to add my onions to this. I'm going to add some garlic, minced garlic, because minced garlic's amazing. We love garlic. Well, this is the roasted garlic, and I got this from TJ Maxx, and I love this stuff. It's so good, y'all. I believe that'd be good. And it was only $4.99 for this whole big container here. There's that. I'm going to let this cook for a little bit, and then I'll stir it. This will be cooked on low for a while, so super easy, super simple. I normally fry these things, but I've never done them in the crock pot before. So we're going to do it this way and see how these turn out. I'll be taking some of these to work tomorrow too. So, hey y'all, on to the green beans. So for my green beans, I like adding, crap, I forgot the salt and pepper. Hold on. Oh, that was my garlic powder. Okay, so y'all, this is Sunday clothes. I'm not even dressed up or anything because I'm fooling around the house here and I gotta go to the grocery store here in a little bit. But for my green beans, I normally do the fresh green beans, but however, I'm just using all these green beans that I have here. There's different brands here. There's Kroger, there's Del Monte brands. We have French cut, we have regular cut green beans. So yeah, so we're gonna cut or open these up. And look at my poor opener. I did finally buy me a can opener, like when they had that dollar store sale, like they were like $5 a piece. I don't use it that much, but this poor little thing here has had its days, like just saying. So I'm not even going to drain these out. I'm just going to take and pour them in there. Pour all my beans, get my beans opened up. Happy Mother's Day again, y'all. I hope y'all are getting to see your mama, spend time with your mama. Mamas don't last forever, and my mother, she passed away young. I had a comment asking what happened to my mother. She passed away of an aneurysm in her heart. She was like 40 or 41 when she passed away. Unexpected, and it was the worst day of my life. And it gets easier, but it don't. It comes in waves, and this week has been a week of very raw emotions. But it also had to do with my youngest, or my oldest baby graduating. She graduated yesterday, and she's 18 now, and she's, you know, like I said, she's going to the beach, and, you know, you have to let them fly. So I've had all kinds of mixed emotions. Normally Mother's Day doesn't hit me this hard. Today, I've not really thought about it, honestly, until I just started talking about it. But I did want to wish everybody happy Mother's Day. But love your mother, cherish her, give her a gift, hug her tight, because you know what? We don't last forever, y'all. And life is so precious and short. So I have these ham hocks here. I think these are either ham hocks or something another. I got them when I was making my green beans the last time, and I think that's what those are. But anyways, that's what I cooked these with. So I put those in there. Hang on. I'm all over the place, y'all. I'm trying to do a little bit here in the house, and so we have some chopped onions. These are just from Big Lots. I always love having these on hand, because for soups, and if you run out of onions, you can substitute and just use the dehydrated chopped onions. So I'm gonna put quite a bit in there, because you know you want these to be seasoned well. I'm gonna add some pepper, and I'm just gonna cook these on like simmer low for several hours. I love these little grinders from the Dollar Tree. And then we're going to add some salt. Now this one didn't, these do better, but this didn't come from Dollar Tree. I got these from Yugo, and they're so nice. This is sea salt. Okay. I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic powder, because I'm going to add those. These beans are going to be tasty, y'all. And then I'm going to add some of this roasted garlic. I'm forgetting an ingredient that I need. It's like key to what I'm going to be cooking. You can use chicken broth, beef broth, or whatever, but I use these. I'm going to put about 2 in here. They had my daughter's graduation in the freaking gym, and it was, oh my gosh, it was so hot. We were sweating. It was miserable. but they were afraid that it was going to rain because the weather here is like, you know, Tennessee weather is, y'all know how it is if you live here. It's 1 minute it's raining, 1 minute it's hot, 1 minute it's cold. Like, you never know what's going to happen here. But so all day yesterday they were thinking that they were going to put it outside, y'all, but they never did. So needless to say, we were cooped up in the gym with tons of people, and we were all just ready to get out there. But it turned out really well, and Mama held herself together. Mama cried a little bit, but I think all of my emotions, like, throughout that week, guys, I cried so much. Like, I cried. My emotions were everywhere. I was missing my mom. I was, like, all of these things were, like, piled up on me. And the moment that I watched my daughter, like, go down and get her diploma, it just, like, lifted off of me, and I was, like, so happy for her. And I knew my mom was with us, and, you know, her nanny and all the loved ones that's passed away. But it was so hard. Yeah, I'm getting emotional again. But I'm very happy for Katie. She's a very special little girl. And she's got great things ahead of her. And yeah, I say that the emotional roller coaster's left, but maybe it's not, y'all. I think just talking about those things just really, you know, makes me a little bit emotional, but it's fine. But anyway, so this is how I do my beans. They look like, and like I said, I'm gonna put these on like extremely low and let them cook, you know, for a little while. It's been the basket case, and like, so it's like, Lord, those of you that's had kids that's graduated, y'all know, but like, them driving down there all the way to where they're going to the beach, you worry about them like getting there safely and coming back, and like, I don't know, but yeah, there's different levels to your to your children. So you worry about like carrying them, if they're going to be okay, if they come out okay, and all this stuff. And with Katie, I stayed so sick all the time, and I had this fear on me that I was going to lose her, like, because I stayed so sick, and like, you know, it's my first child. I wasn't certain to what was going to happen, and I lost so much weight. I was in the process of taking care of Justin's nanny throughout the day, and just watching her decline, and, you know, seeing the stuff that she was going through, and then plus carrying her daughter, being sick constantly, staying in the house constantly, took a toll on me. And I bled quite a bit with her, like, before I got, like, while I was, like, freshly pregnant with her, and then, like, this, like, first trimester, I bled quite a bit, and so I was in fear, like, constantly. And anyways, I remember praying, and I sat down on, man, I look a rough mess, y'all, but I remember praying, and I sat down at the piano, and I just started playing in keys that I've never played in before. Like, I normally do like C, F, G, D, and E, and like different like chords like that, but I just put my hands on the black keys, and I think it was like a C sharp, and I just started playing, and I started praying, and the Lord gave me this song, and it was called Angels Camped Around Me. And I sat there and played that song. Normally I can't write a song in just one day, and I sat there and I played, and the Lord just came down, and I wrote that whole entire song. And it's called Angels Camped Around Me, They Cover Me Beneath Their Wings as They Gently Sing. And then there's some that, like, a part of it that says, I'm your guardian angel, God has sent me your ways. There's been many long nights, but you never gave up the fight. And it just started coming out. Like, I just started playing and writing and singing, and the Lord was ministering to me, and I knew that my daughter was going to be okay. And when I gave birth to her, I was so scared, and that song, and I could just hear it over and over in my head, Angels Camped Around Me. So Katie's very special. All of my children are special, but I remember that in particular time when God came down and, you know, just comforted me and told me, hey, this baby's gonna be okay. Your little girl Katie's gonna be okay. And she was. So Mama's heart's just full of joy that she's graduated. She made it. I'm so happy for her. But at the same time, there's so many emotions, like, but it's okay. It's part of life. We live, we grow, we go through the roller coasters and the happy tears, the sad tears. It's all good, y'all. But that's my emotions. It's hot in here. I'm gonna turn my air on. So I have this pull apart kit. It's a garlic bread kit. It makes about 8 servings. I got this from the Yugo for like $1.99. And so I'm gonna make this with the meal that I'm making now. This is what it says to do. It says you will need 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 3/4 cups of shredded cheese, and there's the instructions on that. Gonna turn out, but we're gonna give it a try. What I'm gonna do is make this and then just like let it sit in the refrigerator until I get ready to cook it. I can't find my daggone measuring cup, so I'm just gonna have to do it this way. And I don't know where it went to, so we're gonna do it this way. The cheese, I ain't too worried about it because the more cheese the better here in Tennessee. Just saying. I'm also gonna add some of this to my beans. Okay, y'all, so like I said, I have never made this before. We shall see how it's going to turn out. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be okay. So, we have our pull-apart dough, and then we have our sauce packet here. So, it says to stir together 2 tablespoons of melted butter and sauce in pan. Okay, so here's my butter. I melted it, and I'm going to put that in there. I got these pans from a company from YouTube that sent them to me, and they're really handy. Okay, so there's that, and it says the sauce. Hang on, guys. I don't want to dirty any more dishes than I have to, so I'm going to use that same spoon that I had the butter in. So we're going to put this garlic sauce up in here. I did not mean for that video or this video to turn out in a crying fit, but it's okay. So there's that. Let me roll this up. I was planning on going to Yugo today, and I probably still will. I got to get some drinks and stuff for the week, but I dread going. Hang on. So we're going to stir this up. Smells good. Okay, once that's stirred up, it says unroll the dough, separate dough pieces along perforated line, and place in pan. Okay, so let's do that. Do y'all hate opening these? I always do, because if they pop, it scares me. Most of the time, but if they don't pop, I'll just take it and do that. I've got to try to hurry because a friend of mine's coming over here and helping me build my chicken coop. I bought a small little coop, but I had to add on to it. So we got to do that today. This smells good. It smells like biscuits. So as you can see, the little things are, this is neat, y'all. It's already like cubed out and everything. So I'm going to set these right here and show you what we're working with. Hold on. Let's do this. Set that right there and do this. So these are like little bitty pieces. And you just, these would be good for dumplings, y'all. These little things like this. Wouldn't they? That's convenient. So we just, that's super easy and simple. All this is like biscuit dough, y'all, I think. I mean, it smells like it. So, like, piecing these, like, little dinners that I'm doing right now, or this little dinner that I'm doing, reminds me of my mama. She would always just cook what she had, because she never did have a whole lot. And, it was kind of like a sweet little visit that my mama come by this morning while I was thinking about it. And, like, I'm like, man, that's something that my mama would do. My sweet little mama. God, I miss her so bad. Whoop, there went some dough on the floor. I miss her so bad. I remember, so, hang on one second. Hold that thought. Stir dough pieces until coated with butter and sauce. And then it says add 3/4 cups of shredded cheese. Mix well. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to stir this up real quick. I think it said to stir it. Yeah, so I'll stir this, get all the sauce, and I think this will do really good once it sits in the refrigerator, and then bake it after that, like after it like all absorbs all of the garlic sauce and butter. So, but yeah, this will be really good once all of this stuff absorbs in here. And what I like about these, you can just throw them away after when you cook whatever you got in here. Very, very nice. Okay, so what I was saying about my mama, I guess this could be a story time, cook with me. Yeah. So, what I remember about my mama, I told you about the little meals that she would do and everything. And, oh my gosh, this hurts my heart so bad. So bad, this hurts my heart. Okay, y'all, so I don't have shredded cheese. Well, I have some, but it's old, and I'm giving it to Opal. Like, I sprinkle it on her dog food. Yeah, I know. But, again, Mama's meals, she would always make do with what she had. Have this, have this. I'm going to use this cheese right here. Crackers I'll eat here in a minute. And this is just some string cheese that I got from the Yugos. But, anyway, so my mama. Okay, so whenever she died, okay, so whenever my mama died, she passed away from dementia. She had heart attacks. She had breast cancer. She survived all that. But she started going downhill when, like, I could tell, like, I would drive over there every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like, we were over there all the time, me and the kids, because, like, she was my life. I loved her so much. Every time I had a problem, she'd be like, Stephanie, take it to Jesus. She never fussed at me, hardly. She never judged me. She would pray with me. She loved me. She told me how proud of me she was. And there was many a times I would sit in there in her little old country house burning up. She had like one little box air conditioner. And it would be so hot that I would be pouring to sweat. But she was used to it. It didn't bother her. But me and my kids and Justin, boy, we would be burning up. Like burning up so bad. And I would sit in there and drink my coffee with her. And I could see that she was declining. Like, throughout the years, like every year that I'd go over there, I kept telling my aunt, she's getting Alzheimer's or something. She's like, every time I'd come over there, like one time I came over there and she burnt some popcorn so bad that it caught on fire in the microwave, and we had to go in there and get it. When I pulled up, luckily I pulled up and pulled it out and threw it outside because her microwave was on fire. And then she would burn stuff and forget about it. But, she was the sweetest soul I've ever known in my life. I loved her so much. And I would, go over there and I'd be drinking coffee from McDonald's and have this big old cup. And she would say, have a cup of coffee with me, Stephanie. Lord, I'd have to have 2 or 3 cups with her. And when I say cups, where she had that dementia, and I know she had dementia, she had grounds and all, coffee grounds and all. So I'll be drinking my little old coffee in a cup like this. I keep it for like decorations because it reminds me of the cups that we would have there at her house that I would pick. She had just old nothing special cups, but they were very unique that she got from Goodwill, and I loved them so much. And I remember drinking this coffee and looking and like, Lord, have mercy, Mama, how do you drink this? It's stout. Lord knows how many scoops she put in there, but I drank it with her. And I'd get halfway through it and I'd see coffee grounds floating. So I'd scurried up to her little old country kitchen, and I'd take a little coffee filter and like pour it and make sure it was like hitting my cup. And then I would go back in there and drink it. That's a little tale that she never knew about. But God love her. So I guess this Mother's Day I'm reminiscing, but it's fine. I love it. But I'll never forget, this is what I'm getting at. My mama didn't have much. She never had her driver's license. My papa didn't want her to have it. My papa, and I love my papa, but he was at times abusive to my mama. He didn't want her to do nothing. He just wanted her to stay home and take care of the kids and take care of him. And typical old school crap. And these men, some of the men that would just lay up and drink and crap like that, like, I could go into stories, but I'm not going to do that because I don't feel comfortable sharing things. But so there, when my mama started getting bad, I had just went through my divorce. It was a very hard time for us. Like, oh my gosh, so hard. Like, Maddie was sick, which was like my other mama. It's Justin's mama and the kids' mama. She died before my mama died. But anyways, so she came down with this UTI. And after that, she went downhill. She was in the hospital for a while. And I think it pushed forward her dementia. So after that, she wasn't the same again. And then my uncle had like this breakdown thing. I don't recall it because I was married to my second husband. And I was going with him like singing and stuff to different churches and stuff. So it was a blur. But I remember seeing my mama. I wasn't going over there as much because I was always on the go on the weekends, like to different churches and stuff. And anyways, I didn't realize how bad she was. And I had went to the nursing home, and I had brought her some donuts. I had a big old thing of coffee. It was like this big, y'all. I gave her half of that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this poor thing. My mama has declined so bad. And it was so sad. Which, I mean, I had been there, but I'm talking, she declined quickly. So she had like, all this time I knew she had the dementia, which I took care of Justin's Danny. She didn't have that, but like, right after she died, or right before she died, was when I was starting to go into like my CNA classes. So I knew that she was getting into those stages, and she had been into them for years prior to that. But it hit her so fast. And I remember seeing her and all this stuff. And I'll never forget it. She was like, Stephanie. I was like, what, Mama? I brought her some balloons, like those little floaty balloons that has the helium in it. And a bunch of stuff from Dollar Tree, a bunch of candies, stuffed animals. It was in Athens, Tennessee. And I remember taking that in there. She was so happy. And it was right at lunchtime. And the kids were at school. So I was like, Mama, I can't stay here too long, but I wanted to come and see you. Mind you, I lived in Rockwood at the time, so it was like an hour and a half drive from where I was at to there, and then an hour and a half back. And she said, you can't? And I said, no. And I said, do you know who I am? She said, yeah. She said, you're Stephanie. I said, okay, Mama. They brought her food in there, and I started feeding her and everything, and she'd eat a little bit. And she said, hey. She said, let's get out of here. I said, Mama, I can't take off with you. I said, they'll get me for, running off with you. I said, you have to stay here until your time's up. I said, I can't do that. I said, if I could, I would. And anyway, she's like, why? I said, because, Mama. And so, anyways, she's like, okay. Well, anyways, the nurse comes in there and starts talking to me, and I'm like, okay. And come to find out, my aunt had decided to put her on hospice care. And she talked to me. Hospice care is a big step. Once you go into that and you start giving them the medicines, the morphine and stuff, it pretty much takes them out. Like, I know that for a fact. And that nurse did not recommend it. At the time, I didn't have no say. I was married to my ex-husband and had 4 kids. And, I had nowhere to put my mama. And I had actually talked to my, at the time, husband, and he approved that she could come there. But his house was super small. Like we would not have no room. We'd have to put her in the living room. And I was going to do that. This is how fast my mama died. And I was going to do that, but I never got to. And anyway, she's like, this is a huge step. If y'all decide to do hospice, she pulled me to the side. This is what's going to happen. I knew, the consequences of that whenever you get on hospice. Sometimes people live forever, but if you start giving that morphine, they don't last no time. And my mama's health declined really quick. She forgot how to eat. She forgot how to walk. She forgot how to do a lot of things. And I'm trying to do this without getting too emotional. This says shredded cheese, so I'm chopping it up as much as I can. So anyways, I never got to bring my mama home. She ended up getting to get out of the nursing home. She stayed with my uncle. My uncle and aunt took care of her. I would go down there every weekend until she died. And before she died, my uncle had this kind of nervous breakdown type thing. My uncle was the best uncle I've ever had in my life. Very religious, very loving. He bought me things that I never had, never got to have, didn't have the money to get it. He bought me a bike, a Cabbage Patch doll. All the times he'd buy me things. And he was coming back from Watts Bar from the fishing. He was fishing that day, and he got hit head on, and he died. I'll never forget it. I was at the piano, playing the piano, singing a song that he sung at church. And I get a phone call. Something's happened to Ricky. Well, anyways, I'll have to talk about that some other time. If y'all like for me to do another story time, y'all let me know. I got to get this wrapped up. And anyway, so he passed. I made it to the scene. Seen things that I shouldn't have seen. This is right when my mom started going downhill, and Ricky was in a fizzy. He had a nervous breakdown. It was bad. Because he was almost partially blind. And he, relied on her quite a bit for everything. And I will never forget me telling them, y'all need to tell my mama that Ricky's died. That's her son. She needs to know. That is my mama's son, and she needs to know. So finally they told her. This was after she had came home from the hospital. It was like boom, 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 boom. Death after death after death. Let's stir this, shall we? So anyways, they finally told her, and I remember being outside, and I remember hearing her in there in her little hospital bed just crying and screaming. No, Ricky, no. It was so awful. So he passed. And I'd have to go back. I can't remember when it happened, but this crap took place like weeks, one right after the other. Like, it was bad. So he passed, and then my mama went into coma. I remember going, my ex had a singing, and I had went over there, and she knew me. I said, Mama, do you know me? She said, yeah. And we talked for a little bit. She was in and out. She had those little sparkling waters, the cherry and the peach and all that. And we talked, and she looked at me, and her eyes were so pretty and like glazed over. She had like brown hazel eyes. She said, you see that sign right there? Y'all, which is this. It says, why worry when you can pray? That's the only thing that I wanted in her house when she passed. And I told her to hang on to it like when I was a kid. I said, I want that. And she's like, if you want that, you better get it. And I said, Mama, what are you talking about? She said, I'm telling you right now, if you want it, you better get it. Because Donnie might, not let you get it. And boy, was she right. Boy, was she right. I said, no, Mama, I ain't going to get that right now. And I didn't. I'll have to do a whole nother story time with that. But anyway, so after that, she went in a coma. But before that, I remember her, like I had went over there to talk to her and like to get her up and all this kind of stuff. And me and my brother made milk gravy, and it tasted just like hers. And I remember trying to get her up. I said, Mama, you can walk. She's like, no, I can't. So I get her up at the side of the bed in the position of standing. I'm on one side, she's on the other. And I said, Mama, come on, we can do this. Now, mind you, I was training for CNA, so I had the techniques to properly make people stand and all this stuff. I said, Mama, I'm training for this. I said, we got this. I said, I'm coming over here to help you. I was coming over there every day during this time. I lost so much weight because I was so worried about her. She's like, no, I can't. I said, Mama, yeah, you can. Let's do this. So I remember trying to stand her up, and she stood up. She fell back down. She stood up, and she fell back down. She stood up, and she fell back down. I said, Mama, it's okay. She took her little head and laid it on my shoulder. And she said, Stephanie? I said, what, Mama? She said, I can't do it. I said, it's okay. I said, we'll put you back here in the bed. She said, I'm tired. I said, Mama, I know you're tired. I said, you're going to walk again one day. And she said, Stephanie? I said, what, Mama? And she said, yep. She said, I will. She said, I'm tired. And she said, I'm ready to go home. I said, I know, Mama. And I just hugged her so tight, and she held on to me. She cried, and I cried. And it was like a goodbye hug. I swear, it was like I could feel her telling me bye that day. And I said, Mama, she said, what? And I said, one day you'll be able to drive. You never got your license. I said, you'll be able to drive. I said, you're going to have a mansion of a house. I said, you'll have a big old kitchen to cook in for all of us. I said, you'll have everything you've ever wanted. And I said, you will walk again. And she just had her little head on my shoulder over here. She said, I know, Stephanie. Anyways, that being said, that memory and this little meal here of mixing stuff up, using what you have. Life's not about all these fancy things and money, because money can't buy the love from people. So by just making this meal, and I wasn't even going to cook anything, guys. And I just had my, let's cook some of this stuff for work or whatever. You know, money can't buy things. And those memories I'll cherish forever. My mama's in a better place. My mom's in a better place. All of my family's in a better place. But, so, Ricky died. And then my mama started going downhill. And then Maddie, which was Justin's mama and the kid's great-grandma and like my mama, she died, which is a whole nother story. It was like, boom, Ricky, boom, Maddie. Like 2-3 days later, boom, my mama, the kid's great-grandma. And then like 2 weeks later after that, 2 or 3 weeks later after that, boom, Jerry dies, which was our uncle. It was boom, boom, boom. 4 deaths within a month, like a month or two. Like, it was bizarre, y'all. I'm telling you, it was bizarre. It was a very hard time. So, love who you have. Cherish who you have. Because life is not promised. Tomorrow could be your last day. You may not even wake up for it tomorrow. But anyways, story time. Part of my life. You see why I'm emotional half the time. It's a wreck. I've learned to deal with it. But Mother's Day's here. My daughter's graduated. And I thought I was good, but I'm a hot mess. Hey, y'all. So I've run out of aluminum foil. So I'm just going to cover this up with this. And I'm going to leave this in here for about an hour or two. And then I will pop it in the oven. And this stuff is not wanting to wrap. Nope. I thought I had aluminum foil, but I think I used it all. Oh, I have to do. There we go. Just use the like side edges to like kind of like secure the wax paper. And then just take it. This is totally another thing my Mama Hazel would do. God love her so. Are finished. Okay guys, so I'm going to try to make some cornmeal gravy. So you'll need some cornmeal, oil, whole milk, and I'm going to add some heavy whipping cream and a little bit of butter. What you'll need is some oil. We're going to add some oil here. About that much. Getting some water boiling. We're going to make some of these macaroni and cheese. These are the spiral ones. Got them from Dollar Tree. And I haven't made cornmeal gravy since my mom died. So the grease is starting to boil. And I'm going to add some of this cornmeal here. So we're going to have to stir this up really good. I'm going to let it turn brown. I've not made this in forever, so it may not even turn out right. I don't know. We'll see. So we need to add salt and pepper. And I burnt myself a while ago, so that's quite amazing, right? Add some salt. And normally the cornmeal that I use is in like a bag. I hope this is like the same. We will see, right? I'll let it brown some. So my mama would make cornmeal, well, she called it meal gravy. And she'd make it all the time. And right before she got really bad and sick, me and my brother made it just like hers. And like, she ate it, we ate it. It was quite amazing. It's gonna let this brown. And as you can see, it's turning brown. And that's what you want. I have a little bit of heavy whipping cream. Want to add that. And then I have some of this Modern Pantry whole milk, and we're going to add that. And we're going to just let this boil away. Put this in the oven here. Well, I added the packets with the macaroni and cheese. I add salt, pepper, and I added some butter. The meal gravy's complete. I have the green beans and ham hock complete. Also have the Wendy's complete. And then the bread is cooking. Almost done, y'all. Poor man's meal.